Get ready, Staten Island.
The Ferry Hawks are back at SIUH Community Park July 7th to the 12th for a 6-game series against the High Point Rockers. Tonight, first pitch is at 6:30. It's Thirsty Thursday with $5 Bud and Bud Light drafts. Friday, July 10th, first pitch is at 7 p.m. May the Force be with you on Star Wars Night with post-game kids glow around the bases with special lightsaber training packs.
Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Talk a little bit more. We talked a little bit before, and we didn't give you a fair chance at this. Maybe a connection to the Clinton administration without, me pointing a finger. I'm not the one who knows all this. But the point is, talk a little bit more about this whole particular time with the Clintons and this election coming up, and maybe a good reason to not give us the truth on this, because it might have upset an entire election cycle, as you described. Tell us more, Jack.
Right. I break down conspiracy theories, Dr. Sky, into two basic categories. Mm-hmm. One is conspiracies of concealment, which are kind of a dime a dozen. The others are conspiracies of execution, which are extremely rare at this level, almost impossible. So I've become probably the Dr. No of the 9/11 inside job crap. So I'm supposed to be a conspiracy theorist. I have a reputation. And if you write a book with a major publisher and they have lawyers, so everything you can't just make stuff up. You can't just improvise or speculate. So this was a conspiracy of concealment. And I think the concealment began the very night of the crash. The Clintons were in Washington. We know that. I know because I've talked to Buzz Patterson, who carried the nuclear football for the president.
Yeah, we had him once as a guest. What an amazing guy he is, too.
Yeah, great guy. And he was, as he told me, the Clintons never left the family quarters that evening. So they didn't go down to the Situation Room, where George Stephanopoulos says he was. And that was he inadvertently said that on 9/11 when he was, filling time on, during the ABC broadcast.
Yes.
Bombing. But the people in the Situation Room were trying to assess the information coming in. And what's fascinating about that night is that even though it was the number one news story of the year, and even though we almost went to war with Iran over it.
Wow, here we go again with Iran, right, Jack? This is incredible, right. Even back there. It's not disproven.
There was a hot spot in our 47-year Cold War.
Here we go.
None of the principals involved wrote about it in their memoirs. So Clinton writes a 900-page book. He dedicates one paragraph to Flight 800. Hillary, in her 500 pages, gives it a half sentence. Louis Freeh, head of the FBI, not a word. Leon Panetta, chief of staff, not a word. Stephanopoulos, in the room, not a word. Dick Morris, he's interesting because in the chapter, he refers to that chapter as the terror summer of 1996, not a word. Mm-hmm. And then, other than to say that he just listed as one of the terror events of that summer, I was on a radio show with Morris once, sure. And I asked him, I said, Dick, tell us what you know. And I asked it 3 times, and 3 times he made believe that I wasn't there. He didn't hear it. And just talked right over me. And then I didn't want to embarrass the host. I'm not getting anything out of him. So they decided not to talk about it after the fact. The Senate Intelligence Committee report for that year doesn't mention it, even though the CIA and the FBI were both heavily involved. So no one wanted to talk about what happened.
Amazing.
But what did happen, what we do know happened, that came out of that evening is that I believe it was Jamie Gorelick, who was the Deputy Attorney General, who assigned the FBI to take over the investigation from the NTSB. An illegal move, but it was done publicly. I believe it was probably, I can't name names here, I'd just be guessing, but it had to come from the top to instruct the CIA to oversee the investigation by the FBI. And that would lead to some interesting dynamics down the road, because the two-man missile team for the FBI, you had one very good, noble truth teller and one potential scumbag on that team. And the CIA liked the scumbag because he was playing their game.